Question 1 for June, paper 1 for grade 10, was all about whether you can simplify algebraic expressions. In this first question, we are testing whether you know the distributive property or law, and that is where whatever is being multiplied with the bracket, that term needs to be multiplied with each term inside of the bracket. So, inside of this bracket, you have a binomial. Therefore, your answer needs to be a binomial, unless those two terms can be added together. And they cannot. So we have 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. The a's are going to be 1, 2, 3. It's the 2 plus 1. And then b squared. And then we have a 1 times 4, so it's plus 4. A, b, there's 2, and there's another one, so it's to the power 3. Our second question was a binomial times a trinomial. So you are welcome to multiply this out. So you would multiply the 2x with each of the 3 terms inside the bracket, and then the same with the plus 3. But if you know your theory about cubes, you'll notice if you look at 2x being squared is 4x squared. 3 squared is 9. This term times that term gives you the 6x, and those signs are opposite. Therefore, this is the sum, because that's a plus, the sum of cubes. You'll see if you do the binomial times trinomial multiplying out, this term plus that term gives you 0, and this term plus that term gives you 0. So you're only left with your first term and your last term. So either way, your answer will be 8x to the power 3 plus 27. In this third question, we have 2 fractions being divided. So one of your main things you need to know about the simplification of fractions is when you simplify fractions, you have to factorize first. It seems counterintuitive, but that's the rule. Whenever you want to simplify fractions, you have to factorize first. So you'll see here in our second fraction, that's already factorized. You can maybe do something there. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's quickly factorize our numerator and denominator for the first fraction. So you'll see 3 is a common factor, and then you have your difference of squares. Then for our denominator, the thing about simplification of fractions is brackets have to repeat, because something needs to cancel. And by cancel, we mean products over products. Then you see everything is multiply and divide, so you can see something divided by itself is 1. Not cancel because you feel like getting rid of stuff. Okay, so brackets probably need to repeat, and that's usually a hint for you. Okay, for 6, you'll see 2 and 3 and 1 and 6 gives you 6, but it's specifically the 1 and 6 with opposite signs that are going to give you negative 5. Also, do you see the repetition here and here? Then we also need to know when we're dividing by a fraction, it's the same as multiplying with its reciprocal, so you swap your numerator and denominator. And then you'll see over here, the thing that you are able to do is that this over here, this numerator that's going to be a denominator, when we change it to multiply, looks very similar to this bracket, with the difference being their signs. This is a positive one, that is a negative one. Negative x, but a positive x. So you can take out a minus, so that they can look the same. And now's the fun part. Okay, if one product is a numerator and one product is a denominator, do you see I say products? Okay, because when we multiply numerators together and denominators together. So everything on top is products and everything at the bottom is products. Okay, then you can cancel. So those 2 will cancel. Those 2 will cancel. And those 2 will cancel. So all that you are left is the 3 and the negative 1. So your answer is negative 3. So the first thing that we are going to do with this question, everything is products and division. So we know when we multiply same bases, we add exponents. And when we divide same bases, we subtract the numerator's exponent and the denominator's exponent. Top minus bottom exponents, but the bases will all stay the same. So we need everything to have the same basis. So here the 4's, we can change to 2 squares. So over here, when you have 2 squared to the power x plus 1, that 2 needs to multiply with each term. So you'll have 2 to the power 2x plus 2. And over here, it's 2 squared to the power of 3x. We multiply, so it's 2 to the power 6x. And just remember that exponent there is 1. Now everything has the same base and it's just multiply and divide. So we add all the numerators, exponents together. And we subtract the denominator's exponents. Okay, 4x plus 2x is 6x, minus 6x is 0x, so we don't have x's left. And then 1 minus 1 is 0, and then we have a 2 here, so 2 to the power 2, therefore our answer is 4. Now, this is one of the questions that was not very well answered in the question paper, okay? Because you want to do magic instead of abiding by your laws of exponents. As soon as you see multiple terms in your numerator and denominator, and you're working with exponents, okay, exponential expressions or whatever, you have to factorize. Okay, so if you want to bring in K method for yourself, you are most likely to do so. But in this case, do you see in all 4 terms we had a 3 to the power negative x? Just remember here, this is 3 to the power negative x times 3 to the power 1. Okay? And this part over here is 3 to the power negative x times 3 to the power 2. So in both our numerator and denominator, we're going to take that 3 to the power negative x out as a common factor. Your common factor has to include the x, okay, so that we can get rid of our variables as far as possible. It is possible that that won't be possible also, yeah, but most of the times you'll be able to take whatever the variables are also out as a common factor. So in this first term, we have left 8. In our second term, we have left 3 to the power 1, so it's plus 3 to the power 1. And our first term here in our denominator, we took out 3 to the power negative x, so we have 3 squared left. Minus, we took this out as a common factor, so we have a minus 1 left. Okay, then those cancel. Something divided by itself is 1. Then 8 plus 3 to the power 1, so is going to give you 11 over 3 squared is 9 minus 1 is 8. So your answer is 11 over 8.